Tonight, we're going to make a marry me chicken pasta. Mm, Come with me. All right. So I've got some really thick pieces of chicken here. So I'm just going to use one piece and we're going to have it into two. Do that. We're just going to come over with our fillet knife and run it right through. Now let's get this seasoned after I wash my hands. There, my hands are all washed. First thing we're going to do is some onion salt, a little bit of garlic salt, Italian seasoning, some smoked paprika. I just love the color of paprika. And then just a little salt and pepper. We're going to rub this in on this side. I'll rub this in so it stays together nicely. I'm going to flip it over and do the exact same thing on this side again after I wash my hands. You may not always see it in my videos, but I wash my hands like an absolute lunatic, especially when it comes to chicken. Smoked paprika, some salt and pepper. So if you don't wash your hands, then you go and you touch all of these, you're cross contaminating. Much higher risk of salmonella. Not that I've ever heard of. Have you ever heard of anybody actually getting salmonella? Because I haven't. I mean, when was the last time you called up a friend and be like, "Hey, man, you want to hang out?" No, bro, I got salmonella. Like, have we ever? Honestly, leave a note in the comments if you've ever known anybody to actually get salmonella. All right, we've got the water in the pot. I'm gonna just put in a little bit of salt, and let's start getting this water. Oops, let's start getting this water boiling. And let's work on our pan. We'll bring our chicken over and we'll get that cutting board washed. All right, let's get this pan heated up. I put in just a little bit of olive oil. Just gonna let that heat up. As soon as that heats up, we'll bring our chicken over and then again we'll wash our cutting board. So we don't necessarily need this to be super super hot because we're not doing like a chicken parm where we need like a crust on our chicken. So I think this is hot enough. Let's get our chicken in. Oh yeah, beautiful. Let's get this board washed, our knife washed. Let's get started on the other stuff. Okay, before we get started on the onions, let's give this a split. Oh yeah, look, it's beautiful. That is gorgeous. Our water is now boiling. I'm gonna put in about 2 cups of rigatoni. Now let's go get started on the onion. I've got one yellow onion. We're just gonna cut this into dices. Get this peeled up. And I like to work really fast with onions because quite honestly, I hate the way they make you cry. So you're just gonna come right through the middle like that, and you're just gonna do little splits. Just little slits like this, all the way through the onion. I find this to be the easiest way to get it diced up fairly evenly. And then we just come across like this. And then we're gonna do the same thing with the other side. While that chicken is still cooking and the pasta's cooking as well, let's get started on our sun-dried tomatoes. These are great to not only add flavor, but they also add a little bit of color. And all we're going to do with these is we're just going to give them a little chop because I don't personally like biting into big pieces of sun-dried tomatoes. So I like to chop them up fairly fine. We'll move those to the side and let's just wait for our chicken to be done. All right, the chicken is done, so we're going to go ahead and remove that. We're just going to put that on a plate for now because my cutting board is quite obviously in use. Let's bring our heat down quite a bit. Come over with our onions, our sun-dried tomatoes, and we're going to put in just a little bit of butter. Give it that added flavor. We're just going to mix all this up together. And again, I put this down on low. You don't want to burn these. You just want them to caramelize. And the butter will also help get everything off of the bottom of the pan. That's obviously where the good stuff is. So we're going to let that melt and all come together. But in the meantime, let's come over with a nice heaping amount of tomato paste. Let's just mix all this in here together. Let that tomato paste melt right in there with the butter, with onions. Oh, that smells so good. We'll just let that sit here for a couple minutes on low. Okay, now we're going to come in with about a cup. That should be about a cup of chicken stock, about a half a cup or so of heavy whipping cream. And I don't want this to be too spicy, so we're going to do just a little bit of red pepper flakes. Let, let this all come together nicely. We're probably going to add in a little bit of flour just to thicken it up a little bit. But let's wait and see how this comes together first. Now that this has come to a bit of a simmer, I'm going to come in with about a half a cup or so of Parmesan cheese. We're going to stir that in so that it all blends in together nicely. Then right on top of that, just going to come in with a handful or two of fresh baby spinach, maybe 2.5. Just going to mix this up, let that spinach wilt. As soon as that spinach is wilted, we're going to add in our pasta. In the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and strain that. Okay, this looks wonderful. We're going to put in our pasta. Make sure that gets all nice and coated. Now let's go cut up our chicken. Okay, I've just chopped up the chicken into bite-sized pieces. Right into the pan they go. And the chicken just goes right in there. Let's stir this all in so all those flavors all come together. And we're just going to keep our heat on low. Let it simmer for just a couple minutes. That'll thicken up nicely. Let's make a quick salad to pair with it. Okay, let's get this plated, shall we? Oh, look at that. And that, my friends, is Marry Me chicken pasta. Mm, you got to make this. Mm. Oh, yeah.